guys, what's up? It's Emily. Welcome back to what I'm hoping is gonna be the reading vlog of the century. Not really. In this reading vlog, am planning to read the entire Throne of Glass series. Before we begin, there is some controversy about the reading order of the series. There's a prequel that was written. It was released in the middle of the series. It's like a compilation of short stories that Sarah J. Maas had written potentially before this first book, Throne of Glass, but then released, I think, either like third or fourth in publication order. I'm very much of the belief that I'm gonna read things in the order that they were published because that's kind of the order in which the author intended their audience to read the books. And I do believe that prequels exist to be read in the order that they are released. Otherwise, they would just be book number one in the series. I think prequels are meant to give kind of a palate cleanse and context to something that you already know, not kind of stand on its own as the beginning of a series. That's my personal opinion, so that's why I will be starting with Throne of Glass. So that's the first thing. Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms, which are the penultimate book and then the third to last book. These books take place over the same time period, so there's tandem reading and there are places online that kind of give you a guide on like how to read them both at the same time. So you'll read like a chapter of Tower of Dawn and then a chapter of Empire of Storms. So I do plan on doing that. The few YouTubers that have done that like said it was really fun and really cool, so I think I plan on doing that. I have started reading this today. I'm on page 52. The first book in the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, is kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and this one is supposed to be a Cinderella retelling, which I can kind of see, but it's definitely different than Cinderella. Yeah, it's moving fast so far and I've been enjoying it, so let's read this thing. We are on chapter 11. I really love Kale, I think is how you say the name. I sense that like he's a real one, and also like the prince is obviously like a rebel and is just like playing the long game. I think it's Celaena. I love her sense of humor. Yeah. Those are kind of like my first thoughts, nothing groundbreaking. The map is like way more complex than the ACOTAR map. Like there's a lot of places on it, so I'm like going to this map very, very frequently. Oh my god, Kale is such a troll. When he goes, "You don't care for salmon? I hate fish, I'd rather die than eat it." That's surprising, he said, taking a bite. Why? Because you smell like one. Sorry, I just turned my AC off. I know it's really annoying in these videos, but like, it's hot. I also love Nehemia. We just met her. I hope I'm saying that right. God, female friendships. Wow, the power of women. I love that moment when like, I think they like shake hands or something and she notices like her hands are callous and it's like, oh, you're a rebel. And they just talk about how the king came in and like burned all the books and the museums and the universities. I feel like the prince has a plan for Celaena that the king is actually not in on. I think the prince is gonna use Celaena to kill the king, and then she's gonna be queen. That's my prediction. Kale's relationship with Celaena is just getting more and more snug. It's not giving me romance vibes. Maybe later it will, I'm not sure. She's not thinking about being romantic with anyone like at all, so I have no idea where that's gonna go, if anywhere, but I feel like it'll probably go somewhere. Yeah, this scene is definitely giving Cinderella. Like all of the women trying to dance with the prince and the prince being like, "But none of them understand me. But mother, I want to marry somebody with a mind. I don't care if they're from nobility." I realized I kept saying Darian, but it's Dorian, Prince Dorian. He found Celaena and the princess sparring, and basically like Celaena tricked him into sparring with Princess Nehemia, and he just goes, "You stand like this," he said to the princess, taking a defensive stance. I think that's so brilliant. Okay, so I think my track is unfortunately Lady Calton. So far, we have 8 long books ahead of us. I just like to keep you guys updated on like who I would play, especially since we're on strike right now. It's like I've really got to use my imagination and get my fix somehow. I like playing betches. What's interesting about this book too is that it feels very like in flux in terms of the point of view. Like, obviously it's Celaena's story. It's like mainly Celaena, but then we get, you know, we got a little of Prince Dorian, and now we're getting my track, Lady Calton. I like that. It keeps things interesting. I'd like to get the different points of view. That's all. I am on chapter 29, page 216. I'm breezing through this. We have met, I believe her name is Elena. We met Elena in the dream. Oh, I wonder if it's like a coincidence that their names are similar, but there's more champions being killed, and I sense a love triangle coming on. I don't know, we'll see. This like whole tunnel thing, I'm like, what's that about? How is that connected? I just feel like there's a whole world that is functioning that we're just like unaware of, but we're soon to be aware of. And I feel like Celaena is about to like assume her role as the chosen one in more than just like being the champion way. Because she is, like they said in the beginning, she's a witch. So I do think that she has like some fae in her, just like Elena did. So I don't know, there's like a weird parallel there. I'm super curious about that character, and again, just loving Nehemia, Princess Nehemia, like just loving everything with that relationship. That moment with Celaena and Varen in the challenge. Mock me again, and I'll do that with my sword next time. I've been waiting for this. She turns and says to Brullo, here's a lesson for you, weapons master. Give me real men to fight, then maybe I'll bother trying. Sarah J. Maas just writes these absolute badass women, and I'm obsessed. Okay, Prince Dorian is officially out for me. He lost me when he said he wanted to kill a dog. Go fuck yourself. You suck. I hate you. I hope you die. Bye! Oh, and he raises dogs for racing and hunting? Even better. I want his head on a stick. Okay, Kane's having like a steroid Hulk moment. I feel like somebody's using Kane to do their dirty work, and he's like under a spell. I do think there's magic involved here. I wish that the killing dogs thing didn't happen, because I might be more Team Dorian, but like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get over that, honestly. Okay guys, just wanted to check in. I am on page 325, chapter 44. So the ball happened. It's very much like Cinderella, but also not like Cinderella at all, and I think Sarah J. Maas does a really good job, similarly to the first ACOTAR book when she did Beauty and the Beast, of like, yeah, taking these stories and paying homage to them, but also completely making them her own. Like her maid doing her dress and being like, I must be high fae for what I've done with your look tonight. Kind of like alluding to the fact that she's the fairy godmother character. Very happy that Nehemia is like friend and not foe. Nehemia like made me tear up a little bit because she's just such a true friend. I'm really not into Dorian. I don't like how he treats dogs. Like I just don't like it, and I know that that's actually not supposed to be a reason why I don't like him, but it is. I just don't see anything special about him. Like I don't actually know why Celaena is attracted to him. Also, this thing with like Kane and the monster, I felt like that was the obvious thing that was going on. We have like 75 pages left. The king just showed up. There's obviously magic happening. I'm like, is Nehemia like a witch? Is she fae? Like what's going on there? Oh yeah, and like what's her face is gonna try to poison her, which I just don't think is gonna end well for her. What's her name? My track? The woman with the raven hair who wants to marry the prince. Yeah, I just don't think she's gonna come to a pleasant end. Yeah, I think the next 75 pages are gonna be pretty wild, knowing Sarah J. Maas. I think Parrington is obviously behind all of this. Okay, so Kane is dead and Lady K just got dragged away. Okay, I have one more chapter left. It's chapter 55. And a few thoughts. I'm so happy she broke it off with Dorian. I really don't like him. Thought number 2, I am so team Kaol, just 100%. Thought number 3, she just met with Elena again, and the last thing she said is blood ties can't be broken. So I'm like, is Celaena like royalty and she doesn't know it? Like, is she related to Elena? I mean, they have like very similar names, obviously. I'm sorry my AC is on, by the way. It's too hot. I can't keep turning it off. So I just finished. She obviously made a deal with the devil here. I'd give this first book 4 out of 5 stars. Compared to the ACOTAR series, I don't feel as connected to the characters, but I still feel pretty connected to them. I mean, it's clear that this book was written, like, this is one of, like, the first books she ever wrote. You obviously get the stuff that you love in ACOTAR, but it just feels like it's not quite as, not developed, but, like, I just think she developed her craft more by the time she wrote ACOTAR. But this book was really good, don't get me wrong, and I hear that they get better and better. So this was, like, a great first book in a series. It went super quick. Yeah, the King and Parrington are obviously, like, up to no good, and I have a lot of questions about, like, the final scene with them when they're talking about, I guess they're, like, using magic. We're dealing with, like, regular magic. We're dealing with other worlds and, like, realms of the underworld and stuff, and people that have died. And then we're dealing with these, like, shape things that start with the W. Yeah, it's like I feel like we've kind of touched the surface of a lot of it, and I think, like, there will be probably more clearer world building in the next book with all of those sort of supernatural magical elements. I'm gonna go get the second book now. Yeah, this is the thing about series and, like, reading the backs of the books. I purposefully did not read the back of this book because I read the back of the second book cover of ACOTAR before I read the first, and the first sentence just gave away what happens in the first, and this one literally, like, celaena Sardothien won a brutal contest to become the king's champion. Thanks. Major spoiler. I'm excited for this one. I think it's gonna be good, and I also like the cover a lot better. It's pink. It's just cuter than the Throne of Glass. These covers, they just came out in, like, February, and they are so much cuter than the old covers. I'm so happy I have these. I have, like, Miss Hannigan in here. See if there's a playlist for this book. I honestly find that playlists for books are not, while they're good, like, mood playlists, when I'm actually reading, I find most of them really distracting. I need to listen to, like, instrumentals when I'm reading. Yeah, it's like Sia, Coldplay, Adele. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay, I just put on a very snug reading playlist, and I'm gonna put some lavender oil and the essential oil things. Okay, I just want to say, Elena is giving major, like, Dumbledore vibes. Celaena just met Mort, the, like, door handle or whatever. And yeah, I felt this in the last book too. I just feel like Elena is giving Dumbledore vibes, like, in the sense that, like, they both know the answers, but they're just like, I'd rather give you a riddle and, like, disappear. Okay, we just visited Lady Calton in prison. She's going mad, and I just want to say that this once again confirms that she is my track. Thank you. Okay, this whole thing with the singer Rena Goldsmith, chills. That was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. So Dorian just stood up to his father about not expanding the slaves to, like, the area outside of, where is it? There's so many places. Calaculla, which was amazing, and I feel like he's really listening to Nehemia, and, like, yes, it is the absolute bare minimum, but I still think it's definitely scary to stand up to someone like that, even if it is your dad. But I think he's definitely using his privilege to, like, knowing that his dad probably won't hurt him, to kind of, like, dissent against what's happening. But I honestly, like, wouldn't put it past his dad, like, killing him. I'm still not over him wanting to kill the dogs, but that was definitely a small step up for me. And now Celaena and Kaol are eating chocolate cake, so all is well. This book is actually, like, really dark. We're, like, very much away from all of the horrible atrocities that are happening in the entire continent. Literally everywhere else in the continent is suffering, like, so much. And even as a reader that's placed in the kingdom, you're, like, part of, like, the insular kingdom vibe. Yeah, it's just really interesting, and it's really dark. It's just dark. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick check-in. I am wearing my frownies, and you can get your own frownies for 10% off. Link in description. It's basically just like non-invasive, non-toxic, super cheap Botox alternative. Chapter 25, I just read it, and it's literally this one page of, I assume, the princess visiting the queen's tomb and the queen being like, it has to be her. I have some questions about that. Also, obviously, Celaena and Kaol are like getting jiggy with it in the broom closet. I don't know, their relationship's weird. I didn't get the romance until she like took him out for his birthday. The romantic element just kind of seemed like it came out of nowhere. Even though like they really admire each other, it's just like the way that they would kind of like think about each other and talk about each other was more just like admiration and respect. So I just finished part 1. I'm a little perturbed by what happened. So Nehemia's allegedly dead. I'm not convinced that it's real, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it was real. It's just very unlike Sarah J. Maas to like actually kill off a main character. I'm gonna be upset if she's dead. I appreciate it when authors kill off characters that are meaningful and let them stay killed off, because I feel like it adds a realism to it and like weight to the story that wouldn't be there if they just like magically came back to life somehow. I'm honestly shocked. This part is called The Queen's Arrow, part 2. Sorry, I don't know what to say. I'm just like, okay, all right, guess we'll keep reading. Just Mort going, in case you didn't realize, you're supposed to hold the eye against the hole in the wall and look through it. Mort is a massive troll. Oh my god, I have full body chills because we just found out that Celaena is Aelin. I don't know why I didn't put that together. That makes so much sense, but I just literally have full body chills. Like wow. Ooh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Why has Kaol not put this together yet? Like what, hello? Okay, well now we know why part 2 is called The Queen's Arrow. I am in this now. She's the queen, she's fae, like she's a fae queen. She's taking down the king. Let's go. Let's go. So I wanted to share my thoughts on Crown of Midnight. First of all, I'm really sad to finish this because I think this is my favorite cover out of the series. It's so cute, it has pink in it, we love it. Okay, my first thought is that Kaol and Celaena just like got together too quickly. I want to be screaming, just kiss already, before the first kiss. It just kind of happened too soon for me. We just didn't really explore it that much. Like we didn't explore it physically. I didn't feel like it was explored that much emotionally. I wanted more before they got together. I think it just could have been flushed out more. Also, it's giving like love triangle vibes, but Celaena's like not really participating in it. Like it's just Dorian and Kaol. In a way, it's like kind of like in their heads that there's a love triangle, but I think Celaena just has like so many other things that she's worried about, which I love. Similar to the whole Kaol storyline, like I wanted a little bit more with Princess Nehemia before she died. I wanted to flesh out their relationship a bit more. I wanted to experience more of them together. I do understand why that wasn't the case, because there were like so many unanswered questions from her, and it was like, it like serves the storyline of Celaena not knowing what to do and grieving the loss of her friend and the loss of not getting to know her as well. They just had a lot of unfinished business. I get it. I just wanted more. This 3 hidden items trope, it existed in ACOTAR, and when I read it in ACOTAR, I was like, this is just like the Deathly Hallows. Oh my god, when Kaol risked his life to save Fleetfoot, I think it was to save Fleetfoot. I'm pretty sure that he went into the portal to save the dog. I'm obsessed with him. Like Dorian wanted to kill this dog because it was a mutt and Kale literally put his life on the line to save this dog. If we are participating in the love triangle, I am still 100% team Kale. It was also really fun getting the king's point of view at the end. That's what I really like about this series, is that you get points of view of like all different characters. It was cool to know like what he thinks is going on. I don't think he has any clue that Celaena is the queen, first of all. He doesn't have any idea that like she's the one that killed the witch, that she knows about these things, and that she's the one that opened the portal and all of that. It's just fun to like get into his thought process a little bit, and also just see like how sociopathic he is. The ending was amazing, and I'm truly invested. She's like this world's, or at least this continent's, like greatest assassin, and she's a woman, and like that in itself is so great. And now we learn that she's also a queen, and she's a fae. We haven't really gotten her point of view about being the queen yet. I'm excited to read the next book. It makes her relationship with Princess Nehemia even more complex. Princess Nehemia calling her a coward and stuff, that definitely, I can imagine, hits hard, knowing that like she's the queen and that she's supposed to be helping her people, and like what is she doing, you know? I did get the next books last night. They came literally in like 12 hours. It was pretty incredible. Here it is. Heir of Fire. We're getting into the bigger boys here. I also got some new sunscreen. You probably don't care about that. I got The Assassin's Blade, which is the prequel, which I will read, as I mentioned, after Heir of Fire. These covers are so sleek. I love them. All right, well, anyway, let's read.